If you like audiobooks or audio shows, check out a free trial of Audible. Just click the link in the description.
Welcome to another edition of the Mindshock podcast. True crime. This is Maura Murray, episode 13. Other potential boyfriends.
Yeah, every time I say it, you don't like it.
This is your host, Bruce McGuire.
It's Rick Davis and Maxwell Power.
All right.
Yeah.
So, when I say the alternate boyfriends, not that she had 5 different boyfriends. One alternate, but which one was it? So there's different theories into who could have been the other boyfriend.
The athletic coach?
So there was an SoCo article, unconfirmed story, that Maura had a boyfriend in the Haverhill area. And that's who she was going to see. Now, this boyfriend could have worked at Loon Mountain. So this is where Susan Champy, the other witness who drove by the car, saw the doors open, even though the police said they never opened the doors. Uh-huh. She worked at Loon Mountain, and she also said that there were rumors. Okay.
Weren't there 2 guys at Loon Mountain?
Well, there was the Loon Mountain 3. Supposedly,
3.
The theory that 3 guys didn't show up for work the next day.
Yeah.
And they had some kind of a truck. But one of these potential boyfriends had a girlfriend, and he lived in Manchester, New Hampshire. And the girlfriend turned up missing or dead at the time of Maura's disappearance, according to Champy. So these are just general rumors. Mm-hmm. So if that is the guy, is he talking about Maura, or did he happen to have another, or was it the guy with a different girlfriend who also went missing or dead?
Yeah, but we could research that easy.
Not really, because we don't know this guy's name. And
yeah,
we don't know his girlfriend's name.
Oh, man. You can
because these are rumors.
You can Google that shit.
Google what? We don't know any names.
Huh? A Loon Mountain worker has that
rumor?
Girlfriend.
Well, just a rumor.
It would come up.
Okay, so this is pure rumor. Champy said the story surfaced several months after Maura went missing. I think it's just
long for people to talk.
I think it's just one of those rumors. I asked family and friends, and no one had any information to back up the rumors, Conway wrote in her email. Okay, once again, we go to James Renner's blog. Wednesday, September 7, 2011. Breaking: Maura's secret suitor. Some info came in from a reliable source last night that kind of rewrites the narrative we've been given about Maura by her family.
Well, when did
Billy
he
Rausch.
write that?
September 7th, 2011.
Oh, all right.
It turns out Maura was considering ending things with Billy.
Of course she was.
Seems she had gotten very close to a nice, ambitious young man at UMass.
Mm-hmm. From Haverhill.
And her friends were pushing her to drop Rausch for this new guy.
Oh, that's why.
It was a relationship she had to keep secret at the time for a good reason. I have the man's name, but I'm waiting for him to respond before I get into it too much. So, he never wrote another post about this. So, it's unsure whether he was talking about Kate Markopoulos' cousin, who she left the party with. Mm-hmm. Even though the police talked to him and cleared him. Mm-hmm. And another theory is, was she leaving the dorm party to visit the other guy? And that's when she got into the accident. Or was the other guy the unknown campus security cadet? And he was already at the Hadley crash site because she was already with him. And that's the other boyfriend.
There. You can say what you want, but there's an awful lot of guys in this story.
Okay. Now, there were 3 unnamed males at the party. So again, all this information is hard to corroborate.
Is that
and
the
nail
Loon
down.
Mountain 3?
No, this is at the party.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that. All right, go on.
And Fred...
Couldn't they have been, though?
Fred tracked one of these males down. It took him 2 years to find him or whatever. Okay. Police, and he basically said nothing. Police supposedly said they talked to everyone that was known at the party, but who was known and who was unknown. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Another theory, and we'll go into, so these are the 3 different potential other boyfriends, that Maura hooked up with a guy at the party, and that's the information that Sarah gave Fred. Mm-hmm. So is this guy involved? Because if she met him at the party for the first time, and then however a plan was made to go up to the White Mountains was made then. And then either he turned out to be shady, killed her, or they split up for whatever reason, and then an opportunistic killer got her.
Oh my God.
Or what if this new guy was involved in something illegal like drugs, and it was really a drug run. And either she knew about it or didn't know about it, and then things went south real quick up there. And that could have caused some kind of a dire situation. Now, these theories would also probably mean that the Butson sighting with Maura and her 2 friends, because we don't talk about that too much, but so she had 2 friends. The clerk said that she had 2 friends with her.
Yeah.
So possibly Kate and Sarah or whoever. Now, so if she went up with another guy, that means that sighting is not true. Do we believe that sighting? We never really went into that too deeply.
Yeah, but like, if she was with Kate and Sarah, there would had to have been their second car.
Yes. Unless here's the other problem. If Kate and Sarah were both involved in the drug situation too, and this other guy that they don't want to name.
Could be a red truck.
No, but if they're involved in some kind of shady dealings, then they wouldn't talk about any of it because they're not going to give the name out.
Yeah,
because they're involved.
But
also.
I'm just saying they had to have driven another car. There had to have been another car regardless if her 2 friends went with her, because the one car they found. You know what I mean? When did Kate and Sarah leave her?
Well, we don't know.
That's the whole thing,
Yeah.
you know, because like she might have spun her car out and got into the car with Kate and Sarah and left.
Wait, Maura?
Yeah.
And then just went back to UMass?
Well,
Where did they go?
she could have gone on to meet a guy or go on.
I believe Sarah. Again, this is all shady, but for some reason, I think Kate was the one who possibly was unaccounted for 1 or 2 days. But I think Sarah had her job, so she couldn't have been up there.
Is she the one at the art studio?
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, but how did she come? So 3 cars?
I don't know.
Or did she drop off the girl who was missing for a day with Maura? Because like Maura could have just gotten into the car with her 2 friends, continued on to whatever
they were doing.
dubious, or even gone on, and she could. There had to have been. They were sighted there with her at Butson's. I guess they could have.
If the sighting is legit, the sighting could have been to somebody else.
But they could have gone home from there too, though.
Oh, they went home from Butson's?
They could have.
And Maura continued on.
Or
they got into a fight or something?
Anything. Like maybe
now,
she just wanted...
So is it also possible that there could have been a guy with them also? He was waiting in the car and he was the one smoking the cigarette?
He could have met them at Butson's. What if Maura was just like,
What if he's the guy from the party?
What if she... Well, because, I mean, think about it. What if Maura's like, my car is unreliable, but I need to get there. Can you just follow me up? It's going to be a couple hours. We'll eat dinner, and then you can go home. She got the Butsons. He was there. And then they went home. She left with him. Or she's like, this is close enough. You know, I'm only within I'm close.
Okay, that's an interesting theory we haven't talked about.
Which means that they might not have followed her up there. So if they went home thinking she's safe,
why would they never talk about it ever again? Because did they think they'd be implicated or something?
Well,
in some capacity,
they might have talked about it if she hadn't disappeared. Because we don't know what they know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard because they would only be quiet if there was danger to them. So if it was like if it was dubious, like if it was dubious drug dealings.
Well, if it was a guy at the party that they already knew about and he threatened them not to talk because he knows that there's something to do with Maura.
Yeah, or if he like if he went up with, like, if he lived up there, if he was at the party and they made arrangements, he went home. They drove her up there, and then after Maura ended up whatever, he could have immediately gone back to them because they gave an interview initially, right? They spoke a little bit. And he's at the same school with them.
So he did something, then he came back, or he sold her into the slave trade?
Well, I mean, but if he came back, he could threaten them and say, whoever did this can do it to you.
Yeah.
You better be quiet.
Yeah, it's messed up. But then why would Fred say nothing before matters when the guy's there? But then at the same time, he said nothing matters, but he's spending all this time tracking down the males at the party. Well, obviously, he knows it matters.
Yeah, but again, and this will probably offend everybody, but I'll be very nice about it. He might not want people talking about anything amiss with his daughter.
Yeah.
Like drugs, boys.
Yeah.
Just forget it. Just forget it. She's missing. We need to find her. So, don't talk about anything, before or after. Nothing matters because it might cast her in a bad light. What if he just doesn't want her cast in a bad light?
So what do you think about the rumors of the boyfriend from the area at in Haverhill or Loon Mountain.
When did she go out with the trainer?
That was the year before.
That was the year
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
All right. That wasn't when she...
Right.
But that was at
the year-
Massachusetts.
Yeah, UMass. That was the previous semester.
That was the previous
year.
Yeah, and then...
spring.
All right.
And then apparently in the summer or whatever time she got back with Billy.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe there was a hookup with a friend at the party. Or her friend's friend. Or her friend's brother, friend's cousin.
Markopolis' cousin.
Cousin.
Possibly. But
Yeah,
there were 3 unknown males at the party. It's the first time I'm hearing about it, but
Yeah.
there were 3. Fred tracked one of them down.
All right.
The other 2 still unknown. Possibly known to the police, though.
Yeah.
Possibly cleared. Names never released.
And then Fred tracked him down, and he said very little.
Yeah, no information.
Or Fred just won't tell us what he said.
Exactly. Or he might have not been involved but said nothing to Fred, so then Fred would have no way of knowing whether he was really involved or not.
Because Fred seems like he would keep information to himself, too, though.
Yes.
If it cast his daughter in a bad light.
Yeah. And then, of course, James Renner has another guy's name that he never released. Quite interesting.
From Haverhill.
No. A young man, an ambitious young man at UMass.
Oh, at UMass.
It could have been the cadet, right? Is that who his name is?
Well, ambitious, yeah. Because don't you usually use ambition with
So how likely was there another boyfriend? And so if Maura really did break things off with Billy because there was another guy,
or she might not have broken them off really with Billy, and that's why Billy was.
But in that last conversation with him, she might have. So a little backstory on remember Billy cheated with Maura?
On Maura?
Yes, on Maura.
Yeah.
In 2002, when she first transferred to UMass, he cheated on her with one of Julie's friends. Didn't have that piece of information before.
Markopolis.
No, Julie.
Oh, her
Murray.
sister.
Her older sister who's at
One of
West
her
Point.
friends. Yeah.
One of Julie's friends at West Point. That's who he cheated with. His sister's friend. Max, what do you think about that?
I don't know if we can connect that. I can't.
Like, as soon as she goes to UMass,
Yeah.
she was at West Point for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, we don't know the exact...
So he cheated on her, so what?
Yeah, no, we're just
Julie's
trying
friend.
to... Yeah, but we're trying to connect. See if there's a relevant connection.
And obviously, Julie's never brought that up.
And when did this come up? Like what?
What did Julie say about Billy in the Oxygen show in that first
What if
interview?
he cheated with Julie?
That was one of the other theories, and she found out about it during the upsetting call with either Kathleen or, with Kathleen, if Kathleen told her.
You know, and then in order to save everybody's reputation, you would say one of her friends.
Well, unless that could have both been true as well. He could have cheated with one of her friends and her.
No, I know,
If he's
I know.
that kind of guy.
No, I know, but the thing is everybody might agree. Look, she's missing. Let's not hurt the family anymore. Let's just say it was Julie's friend, because that would hurt Julie. That would hurt Fred. That would hurt the whole family.
Now, do you think that could be enough to keep on why Julie's kind of weird and detached, or no? Or she must know more because of her CIA contract connection?
Well, that if he cheated with her, I don't know if a friend, but if he cheated with her, she would definitely act very strange whenever any of it was brought up. Yeah. But if he cheated with one of her friends and he was making all those calls and they're still at West Point, you don't know what he's doing or why he's the girl he cheated with.
And I believe we did mention this, I believe, on one of the recent podcasts, that he was recently connected to on Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Apparently there was a hospital incident where a woman he was in a relationship with was beaten, and they visited the hospital on Valentine's Day.
Okay, well, I was gonna say something terrible.
So that just adds to his list of offenses.
I was gonna say something terrible, and I didn't. And now you brought it up. Now everybody's gonna say that my genius idea came after the fact. If he cheated with one of Julie's friends, who is a sociopath, and Julie knows that, so she gets very strange. And that girl decided that she didn't like Maura.
Oh, this is terrible.
And Maura goes missing.
This is real terrible.
He would call West Point and he'd call everybody.
The professors.
He would call them trying to say, "Where is she? Where is she? Please tell me that she's there, because if she tracked Maura down, she could kill her." And then years later on Valentine's Day, the girl who was in the hospital
Oh, no.
was his next girlfriend, and the psycho beat the shit out of her.
Oh, no, apparently. Well, the implication was that Billy hit her.
Yeah, no, I know that. But if the girl tried to kill her, like she killed Maura and hospitalized her, but she didn't die.
Terrible. Yeah, I don't know if there was a name released for that friend. It was just general.
Well, I mean, but what if that was the case? That would be great. That was another.
So overall impression, could the other boyfriend be a catalyst for going up there, or was Maura really simply just going up there to clear her head and get drunk and have fun by herself, or with two girlfriends?
Yeah, but then why didn't her girlfriend stay with her?
Something went bad. We're talking about the impetus towards the White Mountains. Was it another boyfriend? And where did are those rumors simply just rumors? It's highly possible.
Well, if someone's going to make a road trip like that, it would stand to reason that it was going to go to see somebody. And since
there was another rumor that she actually knew a guy who was in Haverhill.
Well, that's why I asked.
But there was no name ever released. And if it's just a random rumor, I mean, you can't really put anything to that.
Well, yeah, but it does make sense that if she's going to be driving all the way up to the mountains, she might not want to go by herself. And if you ride in the same
Especially
car,
with that much alcohol.
If you ride in the same car, they're going to have to stay there with her. So they would escort her in another car. They would escort her. And so Butson's would be the perfect place to go.
Yes.
Because you'd eat dinner and say goodbye. And then they could drive back and, Maura could go on for the last mile by herself because she made it safely. Or she met him there.
And we talked about Dave and Whalen in the previous episode. So you're writing him off. He's not the boyfriend, right?
I don't know. You didn't let me look him up. I'm going to have the person find him.
But highly unlikely.
Yeah, but at this point, we don't know. This is terrible. Like, something? The only way until they solve it.
Well, everything's plausible.
Yeah, I know. So we're just going to have to
Maxwell, where are you at with a possible other boyfriend? Maxwell, where are you at?
That causes a lot of women to do a lot of crazy shit.
Do you think there was another boyfriend?
Yes.
Maxwell? Moon Mountain?
I don't think so.
I think there always was another
Maxwell
boyfriend.
doesn't think so.
I think there always was another boyfriend.
Maxwell doesn't think so.
I think she was at the party. Now, another boyfriend could have been her just trying to get girls if she was working for the slave
Maxwell,
trafficking.
you don't think there was another boyfriend?
Do you think there's another boyfriend?
Why I asked you?
It was obvious that...
So.
What?
I don't think so.
No, so she just went up there by herself or with her girlfriends?
It seems everywhere she went, there was somebody who was interested in her.
I don't know.
She is pretty.
The rumor aspect of the boyfriend, especially at Loon Mountain, I also find it a little strange that the witness happened to work at Loon Mountain and she heard this stuff. It's just all strange.
Well, yeah, and then
very
the A-frame,
And then Butch is from Taunton, so
oh, geez.
I don't know.
Where was the people that moved into the area with the big drug problem? Where did they come from? They were
Rockville.
They were from Rockville.
Rockport,
and they came.
A whole bunch of people came there from there.
Yeah.
And John Smith John Smith was one of the first people that brought that to light. He said a very strange connection. A whole bunch of people from there go to Haverhill.
Yeah, so that's very strange.
That is very strange. I was trying to find more info on that, but there's nothing.
And so it's hard to say that either her or some of her friends weren't running something, or because she might have been innocent. Like what if her two friends were like, oh, we have to make a drop off. She had met a boy, so she's like, okay, all three of us will go up. You can leave me there. I'll meet him. You make your drop off. So the one girl goes home. The other girl gets caught up with her drug drop, and then
do you think it's more or less likely that there was a boyfriend in that area, or it was a new boyfriend at UMass and they were going up there for whatever reason? But
it could have been a boyfriend at UMass who lived up there.
You think that's so out of those three scenarios, which one do you think is more likely?
I think that she wouldn't. I think if she went up there to meet a boy, he was from up there, but that doesn't mean he didn't go to UMass.
But Haverhill's really tiny.
Yes.
Like the chances of, and that's the total population. That's not even college age population.
Yeah, I know.
It would be interesting to note how many people from Haverhill go to UMass. Yeah. I would probably say not that many.
Yeah, but all it takes is one.
Yeah. Well, out of those three scenarios, Maxwell, what do you think is more likely? Boyfriend up in that area, boyfriend at UMass, or boyfriend at UMass who was from that area?
I think it was. Regardless, I think that it was a boyfriend from Haverhill.
So you think that was the guy that was in the car smoking the cigarette, or?
Well, all right. We can make every contingency work. Her friends drove up there following her, and she met him at Butson's.
The passenger window was cracked.
And
in the middle of winter.
He got into the car with her at Butson's, and her 2 friends left. And then they drove the rest of the way, and he cracked the window so he could smoke a cigarette. Because the cell phone didn't work up there. And what if he had some nasty, devious shit on his mind, and his friends had the red truck?
Oh, he set her up? Oh, that's even more messed up. That's terrible.
Yeah, because she, regardless of what happens, she disappears at the crime scene. So the car spins out. He's sitting in the car. He has to wait for the first responder to leave, who could have been Williams or whatever. And then his friend who was in the truck pulled up. They threw her in the back, and then they drove away.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. That's why every time I see a red truck, I take photos of it and send them to you.
Gotta start watching out for green vans as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed another edition of the Mindshock podcast.
It was relevant, though. I think there was some good shit in it.
This is Bruce McGuire signing off.
This is Brooke Davison.
And Maxwell Powers.